Welcome to Movies in Minutes today. I will explain a thriller to you. Science fiction psychology. Titled 10 Close to Seal on Alert. Spoiler, and be sure to subscribe. If you are new here, and initially a fashion designer named Michelle Embell frantically a suitcase and takes the road, she receives a call. Ben, her ex-fiancé, begs her to come back, but Michelle refuses to speak. The couple had an argument which led to Michael from suddenly weary of his plea. Michelle ends the call and turns on the radio. On the news bulletins we talk of an overvoltage which caused a widespread outage in the city. Ben the call again, but something crashes into her car before she can respond by deviating from the road. Michelle wakes up in a room, plain concrete, seeing his injured leg and chained to the wall. Scared, she catches the fourth pole and uses it to catch his telephone in the opposite corner of the piece. She only managed to discover that his phone has no service cover. Waiting for his captor, a great man walks in carrying a plate of food, is a gun in his belt. Michelle begs for his life, but the man paid no attention to her. The man of the ward's name claims he simply intend to keep her alive as soon as that he went out. Michelle frees herself and dresses her, tries to open the door, but she is locked. Determined to escape, she used the wrench to file one end. Points on her crutch, she opens the windows from his room and lights a fire, with his shirt producing enough smoke to trigger the alarm. Fire and forced wards to return her. Waits by the door and hands her a ambush, but Howard catch him. Injects a sedative into Michelle's arm. Wake up in the same room. Food that awaits her. World admires her tenacity, but says she should be grateful they found them. A few hours later, Michelle wake up to find the door is finally open. She comes out and sees a hallway full of supplies. She meets the other Liz and Met, whose arm is injured. Michelle talks about trying to escape with him, but in May is also convinced that the outdoor air is contaminated. Howard finds them 10 years ago. Michelle than are earlier were masters by paying a week of food when power fluctuates. Michelle suggests that it was caused by a car above them. World insists that there is no one above them. See that Michelle doubts still of him. He takes him to the exit with a window to the outside world. Over there, Michelle sees dead pigs that, according to Howard, died because of the air poisoned. Michelle turns his eyes on the pitch. Let's see Howard struck his mind. Plays the moments before the accident well. Sure, it was the same truck that had chased him from the road. The suspicions from Michelle to Howard wholesalers. Michelle is uncomfortable at the table in summer. Is to start a conversation, informal, with the other two that helps Michelle to lighten up a lot at the frustration of Howard, the cheerful mood, and angers or Ward, but he pushed that down, saying, just admit that they prefer eat down after it sits down. Michelle hid keys in his hands under the table after taking them to Howard. The sound of a car above of their heads attracts all their warning. Michelle track a bottle and slaps it on the face of Howard. She climbs on the table to the exit of the bunker. Its hands are shaking while she unlocked the door. Suddenly, a woman covered with lesions crashes against the door, pleading Michelle to let her do it. Finally realizing Howard was saying maybe the truth, Michelle stops unlocking the door and asks Howard if they can help the woman. The woman starts to bang his head against the door. Michel scared back after the event. Michel is kept in a concrete room. World confesses that he crashed his car. But it was an accident, he knew that. The attack was going to arrive after having heard the news after the shower. Howard tells her that the golden woman was a neighbor Leslie who could have hear about his bunker, he asks. Then it's up to Michel to stitch up the wound. Points World finally talks about his ex-daughter, Megan, who was taken to Chicago by her mother over the next few days. Trio has adapted to life underground, enjoying the camaraderie. One day the bunker trembly, they hear helicopters were flying overhead. Howard thinks it's about the army. This could be the enemy sweeping the floor, looking for survivors. An alarm sounds their security system. Air filtration is blocked. Michel is responsible for climbing into the mouse, vent, and restart the system. Indoor air filtration. Michel, this debate ended up reaching the mechanical room. It restarts the system like Howard asked for it, is relieved to hear it work again. Then she sees a ladder leading to a hatch outside. On the window she finds scratches at the bottom of the scale. Michel picks up an earring. Familiar? While they are alone, Michel will write in me the earrings that seem have blood on it. Then she shows the photo of Megan wearing the same earring by ear, but as Master Cone, the girl pictured as British who is went to high school with his sister and disappeared 2 years ago. Michel talks to him about the word and scratch from inside the room. Another photo escapes from the book of Ward, that of Brittany and Howard at 6. Sets Brittany as the same as the one Michel wears. Plot to capture awards and Hom ca doit. Make confess what he did. Shelters more. Late night and may catch you one pair of scissors in the kitchen. Then he convince awards that Michel contaminated her bathroom when she took a shower after repairing the water system. Air filtration. What get rid of the shower curtain? But Michel secretly recovers various materials in the bunker. Michel makes a combination of hazardous materials so that one of them can go out and seek help. Michel awards and love to transfer a barrel from kitchen to bedroom. World Awards explains that the Cieta inside can dissolve most biological materials including humans. Howard begins to interrogate them on these tools, threatening to dissolve them in the acid, hoping to calm him down now that he took the tools to make a weapon, and Michel did not. Nothing to do with. He apologizes and Howard accept it, then shoot it in the face. Michel is scared with Howard holding her, telling him that admit there is hurt. He asks her to go to his room while he gets rid of the body of M, not wanting when M died in vain. Michel decides to go all the way of the plan alone. She continues to make the combination of materials dangerous before Howard calls him for dinner. So that's it that he sees part of the costume under his bed. Maddie coached the mattress. Why? Reveals the suit below Michel towards where he brings with Howard always at. Inside, Howard stops her, but she throws the barrel of acid towards him, causing him to fall, gurgling in pain. The acid causes a fire in the living room, triggering the tear. Michel retrieve the jumpsuit and mask from material protection. Dangerous in his room, or as small Varels tube, the body half burned. She knocks down a shelf to prevent him and climb on a shelf to escape the fire to block his path to the bunker. Michel Mond in the vent, hoping escape through the trapdoor of the room. Mechanics instead. Howard Cartel crawl inside the vent and starts stabbing a knife in finally above the ground. Michelle breathes heavily while searching around her any sign of life. She sees Howard's old truck and enters inside, but terror in his costume, fears of contamination. Is the salt with tape once fixed? Michelle hears a flock of birds flying above. She watches them surrender, realize that the birds should have die. If the air was poisoned, she takes the risk and take off your mask while waiting. The worst, but nothing happens. Something is moving inside. Neighbor shed, thinking it's from Ward. Michelle is hiding behind the truck. Instead, the bunker explodes. Michelle look at the turned plane, alerted by the explosion as she realizes that the plane is an extraterrestrial. Michelle get back in the truck, look for the key. When she can't find it, she heads for Leslie's car, but triggers the alarm. Michelle rushes to the shed to hide, seeing Leslie's body inside her. Checks outside and sees a creature come out of the field. Michelle is looking for the keys in the body of Leslie. Michelle finally takes the keys as a law. Tear diverting attention from the extraterrestrial towards her, the creature. The cartel ensues. Michelle and the alien stops when a rumble comes from the house behind. The alien plane releases gas. Michelle recovers his mask and the salt. Frantically, Michelle stands up, alerting the creature attacked. She gets inside the truck but fails to close. The creature opens his mouth, grabbing his mask. Before walking away, Michelle closes the truck, but the truck is pulled through the air by the plane. Aliens see the great being at above her. Michelle dark loser hope. Next to her, she finds a lighter. Giving an idea, she catches the alcohol, roll on the ground and create a cocktail Molotov. When the creature opens its mouth, Michelle throws the explosive inside the exploding alien and the drop the alien plane. Crashing, burns on the ground. Michelle regains consciousness and gets out of the truck. She takes the time to resume her breath, finally having time to let it flow. The situation, she sees the car of Leslie in good condition. She enters inside, grateful that the car still works. Michelle DeMars overturning the box to the letters that bears the Dries 10 claws. Towards Fiel, the car radio picks up a transmission. The broadcast orders the survivors of surrendering to Baton Rouge. They also ask for help from people with medical experience and fighting, asking them to help the survivors in Houston. She ends up in the crossroads between Baton Rouge and Houston, thinking about the paths that she will borrow. She goes to Houston to help survivors beat, and that's the end. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a comment. It really helps the channel. Thanks for having look at